Welcome, everyone. Go ahead and take a few deep breaths as I'm talking. I was just getting some messages for you guys. A lot of wounding stuff to clear is coming up. So, for example, aggression and passive aggression, a fear of communicating. So remember all the times in war where you could get killed for communicating. So there's that fear coming up. And also they were guiding me to remind you about all those movies that scared the crap out of you when you were little, you know, like Jaws, or I remember Willard. Definitely gave me nightmares about mice dropping in and attacking me at night, which we literally had mice in our attic, so it wasn't so far-fetched. But yeah, all of those kind of childhood fears. What I was just getting visually was, first it looked like a woman with a hat on, you know, with a ribbon around the chin, you know, something to tie under the chin in the garden. So on their hands and knees doing some gardening. But the fear also came up. I was getting the image of the women in the rice fields, and that could be men as well, with the pointy hats, and, you know, but doing it against their will. So there's that energy of slaving in the fields as well. So I have the this 2-deck read on the table with the SIRIAN Starseed deck and the Rider-Waite Mini, and then I have my message of the day as well. So let's pull a card first. We'll pull from the Fortune's Oracle, and we'll pull a different deck at the end. And also, I was trying to light this candle here, and I wasn't sure if it was going to stay lit. And I was standing over it, waiting to see if it went out or not. And it did. It was like reminding me of when you're starting a fire out in the wilderness, of just letting the embers kind of work their way into a flame. That was also coming up. It did not go out. I was expecting it for sure to blow out, but it didn't. So the flame is still burning. What is the mood? Okay, so when we have unity coming up, 34 is the 8 of Wands, which is energetic exchange, the arrows of love, just a lot of energy flow back and forth. And again, the hand folding here, or hand fasting in the heart, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And the 34 is also the energy of the Empress and the Emperor, or the horizontal pillar of the bird flying across, and the 4 of the lambda leap of the vertical pillar. So that's also coming up. And the bottom of the deck is the eagle, which is that horizontal pillar I was just showing you, the 3, but also coming up here is the 9, which is also the hermit, which also can be the 1 and the all, and can represent source energy coming in as well. And again, the flame being relit. Oh, very interesting. All right, so you have unity there with the ego hermit energy there in the underlying energies. All right, so it's like the emperor and empress, and then the source energy, right, connecting them. As they each connect with source themselves, that's what then brings them together, what binds them. So let's see, we're going to do the read on the table first. If I can get this right. Okay. So here's the read on the table. And this is, again, like I said, the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the main deck, and then the Rider-Waite clarifiers. And today is the 4th, and that is the Emperor energy. It's also the King of Wands today. So there's a lot of masculine energy, and, you know, the Emperor and the King of Wands, the man of passion. So a lot of physical, energetic, passionate energy out there, of rulership, but also honor. So there can be a lot of dishonor there, as well as aggression, which came up already. So This was done on the 2nd, and then the message of the day was done yesterday. So this one was cut and dealt at 10:19 on the 2nd, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the 19 of the Sun. And then I finished clarifying at 10:35, which is the Wounded Warrior. And that card's usually like Sagittarius energy, and 19, the Sun, is Leo energy. So there's a lot of fire coming up there. And then at 10:28, which is the Wheel and the Two of Wands, literally coaxing people out of hiding was coming up from this lower energy of the read here. So the energy of the major arcana here was Ascension, which is the World, Abundance, which is the Empress, and the Hanging Man. And before the read, the Starseed, which is the Fool, and then Reflection, which is the Hermit, came up. And after the read, Lovers and the Tower came up. There was 1 sword, 4 wands, 1 pentacle, and 2 cups, which is 14 and 12, which is the Temperance card and the Hanging Man, which is also Sagittarius and Pisces, or for me, more Capricorn with the Hanging Man. So this energy of the period we're in right now, right? Sagittarius to Capricorn. But also that energy of patience and wisdom, which definitely came up in the messages I just did. Oh, reminder too, check out my messages on Instagram, very significant, perhaps activating messages today. So check them out. There's a few of them. I did it's the Emperor today, as well as my Crystal Angels read. So check them out. We have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So the King and Queen of Wands. Oh, that's interesting too, because I just pulled out some the Fortune's Oracle before I did this video, and the King and Queen of Wands came up with the Emperor, so perfect. Before the read was the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords. We also have the 9 of Cups in the read, which is that emotional sovereignty. And we had 55, 66, 99, and 1010 come up as the double digits for this read. 55 is the Ace of Swords, Excalibur. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, but also stronger, not stronger, greater, right? The movie Greater came up. If you haven't watched Greater, definitely have to watch that movie. But his first football number was 77 in college, and then when he went pro, his number was 66, which is the Queen of Pentacles, but also comes up as the Golden Gate, the GG, the Golden Gate Bridge and the Golden Gates. And 99 is compassion, a lot of compassion endings. Agent 99 came up today, but endings, the one and the all, so that source energy. And then 1010, which is that high vibration, was also coming up. Whenever you go off balance, begin again. Come back to the heart, come back to the now moment, and love. The code line here is all about the number 65, so 6 and 5 coming up again. And that's also the King of Pentacles. Maybe there's a root 65 that affects you. I was just getting infects you, so I don't know what 65 has to do with that, but someone out there might know. It might be a specific message for you. It's also the sweet spot, right? It's right in the middle. The energies of, like I said, coaxing people out of hiding. And then the energy of CC. So CC can be someone's name, but also that carbon copy energy of the King of Pentacles. A human. Remember that they're human. The Queen of Wands, Fever. And then the song Fever was coming up. And transition, not getting their wish or not getting their way, right? Where the Emperor and the King of Wands always expect to get their way. And then Friday was coming up. So then this came up on Friday, but also was coming up this weekend as well. And Friday, not only the day, but Friday, which can reference getting fried or burned, but also friars coming up now. And the Eye of the Storm. right? The getting to the inn in the eye of the storm. And then there's that reference to Jesus as well. And going inward in emotions, right? So the fire of outside of yourself and then coming back to the coolness within. Like burning into fire and then coming back to that coolness again. A sudden event perhaps times 2. With the 6, which is also the spiral of the hierophants, which are, right, the man, so to speak, those, the controllers, those in control, whether it's religious leadership or community, society leadership, societal norms, right, those who tell us what's proper to do, the proper guidance, the proper traditions, right, which may not be true to your nature. The 6, they're lovers over the 5, which is the lovers over the powers that be. But 5 is also freedom, change, and expansion, as commitment can be your freedom, right? That energy of bringing the polarities in together, into the center as one. As the torch of the wise ones that flow, and are wise of flames, while being wise of emotions at the same time. The omega energy, which is enlightenment, but also the Om ego, which is the feminine ego, purifying the fire as the world turns, so do the days of our lives, including Friday. The digamma energy of 2 gamma waves or twin flames, the IV twin flames of fresh water, and the energy of the AB. One of the definitions of AB is fresh water or semen, and that was coming up as the seeding, and then the need to water them a lot when they're first seeded. And I was also getting the message to start seeding what you want in the spring now, like even literally, seeding plants over the winter, right? Because the seeds take a while to germinate. Session, 6thly, wandering. Yourselves. The remainder was also coming up here as the King of Pentacles with the torch, or lovers married, lead to enlightenment, freedom, fresh waters of seed, checking in with the temple of the heart, and the E-tower, the divine feminine. See, which is that see with your eyes, see with the ocean of your emotions, and see with that Christ consciousness. As the King of Pentacles takes the torch, reflecting Father's dissatisfaction. The numbers 500 or 6500 were also coming up, as well as 50-50 scale in purification of freedom. At 11:11, it was the time right then, watering seeds by checking in to the inn of chalices, or in other words, the heart. Jaguar was also coming up, which the word is native to Portugal. And of course, the jaguar native to South America and Central America. And those South and Central America are S and C of the Christus Sophia. But also the cat car and Mac OS 10.2 came up regarding the jaguar. And then I was breaking down jaguar as the word. And Jay's hand was coming up, as well as Jay's mond, or world, to tease udder, or ear. Saddlebag, udders, needles in ears, or twinges. So some of you might have wounds from getting your ears pierced. And just think about other cultures you might have been in that required a lot of other piercings. Or some kind of twinge could be coming up. One, maybe the self. This focus on self, the tree and the water, right? So the tree needs water, just like you need to be watered. To milk and listen. Part R, or section R, was also coming up, and the sharp projection that you are. In pursuit or hunting, in a hurry you are, where 500 was coming up in gematria as Z, Friday, coming up again, sky, buckle up, Lynn, eyes, and TY for thank you. 6500 came up as April 4th, 2020, which 44 for me is Ramsgate. I am God. I take back all my power now. And that was as of, I guess, 4/4/20, that message was coming up. Fever. So I might want to listen to that song too. So sixthly also, like as in the sixth, the leader of the pack was coming up. So the Six of Wands is the leader of the 5 others, right? So we have the leader or the sixthly at 11:33, which is that energy of alignment with the Christ consciousness, that Christ vibration, as the King of Pentacles, a sense, an energy of fire with 5 followers of water, dissatisfied. So this leader of fire, which then the water followers don't align with, right? They don't resonate with the one of fire, perhaps because they're overwatered or have been weeping a lot, or a group rebelling against their leader or had to defend themselves and now feels like a failure. So we have the 9 of Swords starting out this read in the underlying energies, and beneath that is the Starseed reversed, the Page of Cups upright, 7 of Pentacles reversed, Reflection, which is the Hermit reversed, and the Knight of Swords reversed. As the Starseed is knocked for a loop, or the Knight of Cups reversed could be embarrassed or jealous or fell on their face or from grace, with the Page of Cups upright implementing a plan with Hermit reversed and Knight of Swords reversed, or that's one and the same person, perhaps a Virgo, who's lashing out or holding their tongue. Maybe they have something to say, but they need to hold their tongue. But it also could be someone who's verbally abusive or lying, somebody with Virgo in their chart, but not their sun sign perhaps. Or this is also someone who's losing their mind and saying random things. That could be someone with Alzheimer's or dementia as well. As a mother could be coming out about a death, an ending or dark night, to a Page of Cups, a child or a pet, or in a loving message. A mother having to tame the beast, which can be her own inner beast, perhaps a partner or a child, a pet. With the Starseed Fool reversed and the Hermit reversed, or Aries, Virgo, and Leo all reversed, and the Page of Cups, perhaps puppy love, perhaps hiding in the woods, perhaps a dog ran away. That's very interesting because my father came up in my Emperor card today, and when he was 5 years old, out in the countryside in France during the war, he got lost in the woods and he got in a lot of trouble, got punished when he got home. He was with a dog. I guess he went to follow the dog and they got lost in the woods. So there's energy of puppy love and hiding in the woods or coming out of the woods as the Page of Cups with their heart open wide. And again, perhaps your pets are being extra whiny, or there's something you can't figure out what they're complaining about. Perhaps investing in coming out now, or going outside, or perhaps going crazy with the Knight of Swords reversed, lashing out, or trying to hold their tongue, or not being truthful about their inner suffering and silence, perhaps not being truthful about a sister, or the stress they experience, or the sleepless nights, or what a nightmare it's been, and what a long, strange trip it's been came up in the Instagram messages today. This is 11:51, that could be a King of Swords Libra with the 11, and 11 is also justice, truth and balance and alignment. What a nightmare it's been, or long, strange trip it's been, and hiding messages being draining, or the kids are, or having to tell them the same thing over and over again, dumping emotional attachments, and Ia came up in the Instagram message today as well, but dumping emotional attachments over spills or tears and constant movement, or during back and forth, which, most parents are driving back and forth a lot for errands or work or whatever it is for the kids. Atlas slaving or working too hard as the Queen of Pentacles is sitting pretty, perhaps a babysitter or one needed for the Knight of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups upright, or caring for an aging parent with Alzheimer's or dementia, or perhaps they just don't remember. A sudden event or epiphany, explosion, someone blowing their top, their crown, their mind, or everyone kicked out. Perhaps a mind-blowing connection and present to bliss, a sudden gift of one-to-one, or constant interruptions of the Two of Cups couple or partners. Now that the worst is over, after Scorpio upright, perhaps freaking out, or just had a hard night, or no sleep, or tweet, or time to stop trying to save everyone else, especially those not appreciative or who are causing issues for you. So people feeling left out might feel this energy of the Three of Cups upright, indigo, who's been up all night or has an early morning call, or deception and the need to surrender to all that is, breaking patterns, the facade, or dropping the act, or perhaps tripping up in front of the Queen of Pentacles, who's coming up as stable and grounded, but she could get irritated by this and drained, or needing some sun. Perhaps a groundbreaking plant, diamond in the rough, or groundbreaking event with someone depressed and or arrogant or robbing the cradle was also coming up at 12:21. And by the way, groundbreaking plant also came up in my Instagram message. So perhaps there's no options, or with overtime or not working out, with the karma card reversed, or karmic awakening, or Aquarius reversed, with issues or unable to sleep, or someone could be hyper here too, as the Knight of Pentacles may be over it, but they could be embarrassed. I was just getting cat on the hot tin roof. Oh, that's interesting. The Last of the Red Hot Lovers is also coming up, which is a really old movie, but it was filmed at my next door neighbor's house when I was growing up. So that's interesting. I was also getting the energy of, back then too, I guess I was around 8 years old, when my friend was approached by some kind of predator, just, on our corner right there in a nice neighborhood. So anyway, those energies are coming up. But this energy of the Knight of Pentacles, who may be over it, but embarrassed, or perhaps got hit on the head. Perhaps they fell or got knocked for a loop. I was just getting bop, bebop, or got hit by the bell. Or the bill. And I'm getting, what's that movie with the bell? Hit by the Bell. Whatever the teen show that's similar to that name is coming up as well. The Knight of Pentacles, a good friend to the Knight of Swords reversed, needing to hold their tongue, or needing to stop lying, or stop talking out of turn. At 12:27, which is the Hanging Man and the Ace of Wands. I'm thinking Raised by the Bells. I know that's not the right title. That's what I'm getting. Raised by the Bell. Oh, the Beltzes are coming up. Oh, that's weird. So when I was really little, before we moved, because we moved when I was 8, the neighborhood I was in, my best friend was it Laura? Is it Laura now? I'm thinking, I don't know if that's her name. Was that her older sister? So the Beltzes, and I brought up them before because it was a very, very interesting family. Oh, Linda Beltz. Okay. So, and I'm getting Laura, I don't know why, but Linda Beltz. And they left our neighborhood. They sold their house and bought a school bus where the oldest daughter and the father hitchhiked to California, and the rest of the family drove the school bus to California. And then I just heard later on, I had no other contact with them in my life, but I heard after that they lived in a nudist colony in Virginia, I think. But yeah, very interesting family. So whatever reason that's coming up. So we have the recent past here with the King of Wands reversed and the Four of Pentacles reversed with the King of Wands reversed. And the King today is the King of Wands and the Emperor, remember. This energy of the King of Wands reversed, perhaps exhausted or pissed off, coming out of the cave or coming out of hiding, but still pissed off or still exhausted. With the Queen of Cups, Justice, and the Page of Pentacles all upright here, perhaps calling a truce, or Libra in the middle of the Queen of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, or one focused on their heart and one on school or research or mediation to end a conflict with a group with a bad reputation, or perhaps sore losers or need for attention or needy for attention. perhaps instigating a riot, with the Empress making the King of Wands reverse look like the bad guy or hiding them, ashamed of them, as the Empress upright is uncomfortable that she can't leave, or when others stay over and perhaps she can't wait till they leave. Perhaps the King of Wands reverse feels like a failure or doing underhanded things, or the Page of Pentacles upright, maybe getting paid under the table or feeding off scraps I'm getting here without the Empress being aware, right? That could be too an Empress who doesn't want the pets to be fed human food and someone's, feeding them scraps under the table, or making her uncomfortable as the King of Wands reversed is coming out of hiding between Libra upright and Taurus upright, or Libra with kids and the Empress taking care of the King of Wands reversed, or vice versa. Perhaps the King of Wands got the short end of the stick, or the Empress did, or feels badly for putting all that on them, as the foundation here is the Empress with the Six of Pentacles reversed, and the inequity between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles who's reversed, and the Empress upright with the King of Pentacles reversed, so either one of them, right? And the Queen of Pentacles and Empress could be the same person, or a mother and their daughter, perhaps sisters, where one's has much more power than the other. But this King of Pentacles reversed, who's frustrated or doesn't see the humor here in having to get over dealing with temptation or Capricorn or being chained to the devil. Perhaps both the King of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed are tired of slaving for the Queen of Pentacles and or the Empress, or Taurus Queen of Pentacles or Page of Pentacles. Right? Either one of those could be a Taurus. And then there's a lot of people here, right? We have the Queen of Cups and Page of Cups both upright. We have the Queen of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles both upright, and the Empress upright, or supporting an abundant mother or grandmother and two families. Or this can also be, the matriarch having to constantly support her grown sons, because we have the King of Wands and King of Pentacles significantly in the read. And was this the one that had all of the kings reversed? It looks like it, yeah. If this is the read, all four kings are reversed, and I probably wrote this down, and the Emperor, and all four queens and the Empress are upright in this read. So very positive feminine energy, but the masculine energy is coming up as negative. So we have Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, and Scorpio all upright with Leo and Pisces reversed. The central energy is the World card reversed, which is Ascension in this deck. So whether not ascending or descending, the truth came out and it turned their world upside down. Perhaps triumph, or this could be somebody rubbing a win in the wounded warrior's face who has to surrender then, or forced surrender to invest or put out without peace or closure, as the Page of Pentacles is impatient with curiosity between the Empress and the Page of Wands reversed, perhaps a Sagittarius, or the Empress is impatient for an invite or opportunity to be responded to. The challenge being the Queen of Wands dissatisfied, perhaps when they don't get their way, or embarrassed or tripped up, or working it too hard, trying to get their attention, or overspending at work, or overworked with a sudden realization it's only half theirs to do, that the other half should be the responsibility of the other person. We have Pisces and Aries both reversed with Capricorn reversed, and cards all put out on the table, or with half job done realizes they need to make amends at 12:33. I think it's 12:53, which is the Hanging Man and the Knight of Swords again, who's reversed. That could be someone holding their tongue, but they have some truth to say, and perhaps, or maybe they've said it and no one's responding to it. Or this is the need to make amends or dump the rest. At 12:55 is the Hanging Man and the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And now here's the Empress crowning, or abundance of coming out in the end, or about the Hermit's death or dark night, as Taurus and Scorpio are upright with Virgo reversed between. Perhaps mother or grandmother done doing all the caregiving with the Page of Cups and Pet, or Scorpio and Leo, or Page of Cups being strong in the face of death. With the Ten of Cups reversed, family depressed or ending a family cycle of drinking or depression. As the Nine of Pentacles is upright here, a single or independent person in their power, with the Knight of Wands reversed playing the field or falling short of expectations, or perhaps they fell in front of the judge or embarrassed themselves in front of the judge or made a bad call or needs to swallow their pride in a release or getting bailed out or recovering back at work or rehired. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of function. With the King of Wands reversed, there could be dysfunction, or this family could just be going through a loss as well, right? Where they lost a family member or some other kind of loss or big expense. As the King of Wands reversed is coming up as being the same as usual after being let back in, and that could be a mom, right? Allowing their son back in, perhaps after being kicked out or after they did something they didn't like, but they're just being the same way, being sneaky with X or too tired for attention. And soon here's the Five of Wands reversed, and an unfair game or player got hurt while off work, or went from the Eight Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles to the Two of Pentacles, and now it's the Six of Pentacles. They're all reversed. Or this could be almost, it's like being almost out of debt, and then all of a sudden back in debt again, or knocked back a few pegs. And this could be someone who gambled and lost as well. So now with conflicts or now more bills to pay, or who won, perhaps a gambling an issue here, or lost on a game. Maybe they don't usually gamble, but they bet on a game and lost. An unfair without choice of payment plan, or facing the Five of Swords enemy or their own fears. As the Magician is upright, the Emperor reversed, not wanting to have to ask them for help, but perhaps they don't have a choice, right? So wanting to ask someone who knows they're going to rub it in their face, you know, like a father or a grandfather or older man who's the one who always says, I told you so, and you don't want to hear that. But with Gemini or Virgo upright, Aries reversed, or a jealous Emperor reversed, or now having to ask for help from someone that perhaps you had rejected before, and now you need their help. We have the Ten of Pentacles reversed, impatient, and that can be a family, business, community, a legacy, impatient to release the Knight of Cups reversed, who messed up with the Page of Cups, which can be siblings there. Perhaps a grandparent can no longer be left with a child or pet, right? Because that may be dangerous now. So the twin flames, seeing themselves as the Six of Wands reversed, perhaps lost the game or a leadership position or tarnished reputation. And this comes up more as the masculine and the feminine because of what I told you with all of the energies being upright or reversed. With news, a decision, or clarity at 113, which is the Magician and the Death card, or some kind of transition there of the masculine. The clarity coming to the Queen of Swords upright and speaking to or about the Six of Cups, loving kids, soulmates, fond memories, or innocence and vulnerability in a breakup, a breakdown, a break in, out, or through. Perhaps stuck, unable to move, without a car, or just overwhelmed, pushed to the emotional limit, or dumped on, sweating it out, triggered, or perhaps peeing a lot or crying a lot. Standing up to the crowd and taking the high ground and not backing down. When losing patience or seen as the fallen angel, Sagittarius reverse, losing their balance or temper, perhaps with no sleep, or dealing with their sister, or suffering in silence, or stressed out, or has headaches, perhaps headaches, or ending a nightmare, stressed out, with Cancer and Sag both reversed, or fighting to get discharged, or fighting to get admitted. It's easier to fight for your kids than it is for yourself. A lack of balance under the radar or back on the warpath, knocked off balance, getting triggered, or overreacting when things are unfair, when perhaps you've experienced this before, right? So giving someone a second chance and then getting the same problems when you should have known because they haven't changed. And then around the twins, or how they're seen, is that Five of Cups reversed energy. Again, lots of hiding here in the cards and coming out of hiding here, or getting over any loss or regret, with lack of sharing fairly, scams, hiding things until over it, with the High Priestess upright, the Page of Wands, the Moon reversed, and the Four of Cups upright. The High Priestess may be quiet or being patient, with the Page of Wands who's whining or acting up, or Sister may be babysitting, but has to get up really early, so may not want to be there all night. At 123, which is 1, 2, 3 jump, we have the 1 of the masculine, or the Magician, and the 23 of the King of Wands, and it's 3:58 to 59. It's just on the clock. So it's going from 58, which is peaceful at sleep, right? And then 59, which is somebody at war, the war within, or somebody waking you up in the middle of the night. And the Empress comes up with that too, because it's 3:59. So Pisces or Virgo upright with Cancer reversed, or aid or nurse, perhaps a psychic, with the Page of Wands reversed all over the place, perhaps up early at home, or High Priestess frustrated getting over a deception at home, or about home or union, or a celebration, or a living situation. The block being the Hanging Man reversed, awake with or to the Emperor and the Knight of Cups both reversed, perhaps sleeping with the Knight of Pentacles upright and the Knight of Swords reversed, with too much chaos. The Nine of Cups reversed, dissatisfied, unhappiness, or someone not happy being alone, or a need to dump emotional attachments, to be sovereign emotionally, right? And not living with people in which you have no peace. The King of Wands reverse is coming clean about an ex or lack of affection or transfer of funds to the King of Cups reversed, or coming clean, wanting to clean up the act and start paying the King of Cups reversed or pay them back. This also could be someone, giving your money to someone to hold that you're supposed to be able to trust, like a parent who then spends it or gambles it away, that kind of thing. There's a turn of events, now the worst is over, starting over being more present, or blissful gift without a choice, with the Queen of Wands upright, commitment or marriage, or Taurus separation, or religious disappointment, as the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Wands upright, with Gemini and Libra both reversed between them, or some sneaky stuff's been going on, and I'm getting Lucy, and the movie Lucy was coming up too, and I couldn't remember the name of that movie, and I've wanted to watch it again for the longest time, and it came up on the feed yesterday. So if you haven't seen Lucy, watch it. It's really good. So there's been some sneaky stuff going on. So Lucy, and lying or cheating or stealing or betting, and owes the King of Cups reversed time, money, or effort, as the King of Wands and Knight of Wands both reversed, perhaps connected, needing to get over themselves. So and definitely father and son's coming up today with the Emperor and the King of Wands. Father and son are brothers in competition, challenged by the Queen of Wands' impatience or Sagittarius in their chart, and blocked by the King of Cups reversed and their ego, because that can be very manipulative, or hanging out to dry or drying out. So again, there's that energy of alcoholism. We have the Emperor reversed and all four kings reversed, and the Empress and all four queens upright. Only the Knight of Pentacles is upright as far as the knights, and the Page of Pentacles and Page of Cups are upright. As the Page of Swords and King of Swords reversed are coming together, or partying and drank or ate too much and paying for it. But the worst is now over, with nothing coming in, no offer from X. I was just getting a bidding war. But working hard at the institution and are leaving the wounded warrior behind, working through the storm to get to the light and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. As the Queen of Wands could be Taurus and Gemini, Libra, or Sag in chart, with the King of Cups reversed present and the King of Wands reversed trying not to be, offering time, money, and effort, but no affection to the King of Cups reversed. Only Taurus and Scorpio are major upright in this read, right? So they have all the power in this read, Taurus and Scorpio, but multiple have double energies reversed, like Leo, Cancer, Aries, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. So all three fire signs and Cancer have reversed energies here. And that could be specific to people dealing with Cancer as well, if they're fire. Unless they're queens, watch out for words and swords. Pentacles is best. Perhaps, so watch out for wands and swords, okay? So the fire and air energies are not in a good place here today. Pentacles were definitely in the best place, especially Taurus, but also Scorpio is upright in their power. Perhaps all the boys went out last night. Definitely could be a breakup here with the King of Wands reversed, challenged by the Queen of Wands at 154, which is, again, the Divine Masculine or the Magician energy, and the 54 of the Page of Swords, which is definitely Gemini energy there, or the Messenger. I was getting don't shoot the messenger. As the Knight of Swords reversed, maybe a sister, perhaps a Gemini sister, or stressed out, suffering in silence, with inequity or lack of balance, but the worst now is over. Now with the Six of Wands reversed or a bad reputation, the Five of Cups reversed is getting over self or loss or regret, as the King of Wands and the World, both reversed, needs closure, challenged by the Queen of Wands upright in a losing battle with awakening or ego, and the Empress dissatisfied, perhaps with a massage or stitches removed, or on pins and needles, or blissful now that the party's over and they're all gone. And again, the energy of, to be alone again, like to have everybody out of my house. So at 2 o'clock, which is the Divine Feminine now, with a lot of source support, is a gift present to third flame after choosing a new path but unable to implement, perhaps with an ex's burden or doing the work to see the light in separation, perhaps in a sudden event, a storm, or while on the steps or on the wall or fence, perhaps a fear of reaching the top of the stairs, where lightning then strikes in the lighthouse of all places, and then all your hard work gone to shit, all the money or time put into something wasted, after feng shuiing the whole building with expensive crystals, and the wounded warrior reversed surrender to their higher self, the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands both reversed, refusing to climb to the top. As that Page of Swords reversed or Page of Wands reversed are refusing to bow down to any woman, and that's coming up as more as the Page of Wands. So the Page of Swords is refusing to climb to the top, and the Page of Wands is refusing to bow down to any woman, or refusing to let them take their flame, or the Page of Wands reverse may have a UTI or a penile infection or inflammation, and this could be someone who was just circumcised as well, or and it could be a sexual infection as well, but could be refusing to carry the torch, a tempted child, perhaps by a much older woman. That's interesting too, because that movie came up about the older woman with the junior high school child. Or Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, and the Knight of Pentacles upright is proposing marriage in a turn of events or twist of fate, with the Nine of Pentacles catch, birthing through the ring of fire, and Sagittarius, 12-12, in the eye of the tiger. They're great. So grrr, and 8 was coming up as the 8 dance, the crazy 8 dance of the twins, and the tiger, which is source energy, one energized by source, and the lion who lies on them. The Knight of Swords reverse coming out of hiding to the King of Wands reverse, who's not sharing his 5D world, with the Empress upright challenged by the Queen of Wands, under the radar with tarnished reputation or fall, and feeling a failure or like a loser, getting over their own ego and or awakening to codependence or eating and drinking issues, or the Empress's cooking, now that the worst is over, accepting gifts, needing a choice, or for X to take over their half of the responsibilities, to take steps to leave victim mentality behind, whether that's the Queen of Wands upright or the King of Wands reversed, and or the King of Cups reversed, perhaps a lover refusing to sleep or go upstairs, or can't come out of the basement when the light is on. And I was getting some weird energy about that too, like a red light district where they're, you'll know it's clear to come up if the light's not on. Right? Otherwise we're like filming, porn or something like that. So Gemini reversed and Scorpio upright at 217. The number 17 was significantly coming up here for December 17th, but here it's coming up as February 17th. A sudden fall or building comes down with structural or foundational issues, forcing the wounded warrior to surrender to their higher self, or perhaps their sister who has kids or pets, or who have a run of the place, right? This could be another family in your family where the kids, run amok when you're there, or always on the web, and that could be someone with a lot of pets as well, where it's just a mess all the time. Or this unanswered messages or offers here, preferring the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, perhaps Taurus and Capricorn, perhaps they have Libra in their chart, where the pace is then slower, perhaps meditation and guidance as well. And again, this could be wanting a choice of homes to live in, perhaps, or of siblings who are helping you out, right? And perhaps, weighing out your pros and cons of each place. One is crazy and with too many people there, or kids or pets, and the other one is much more calm, but also maybe, very meditative type personality. But guidance as well. As the tiger comes out to play and bursting through Sagittarius into Capricorn with Buddha and Sphinx, that little minx, as the tiger lioness totem and proposal of marriage, perhaps waiting for the right timing, and perhaps they have to think on it and they're waiting for the right timing. So perhaps they're waiting to propose till Capricorn season, or perhaps an offer to go to Egypt, Tibet, or the Ring of Fire, perhaps at 228, which is the High Priestess or Divine Feminine, and the 28 of the Twin Flames, or choice of path, and to be present in the moment. Or there could be a gift coming as well. Okay. Oh, and that was really weird too. I went out back with Teddy for a break after I did that read. And I was just doing my normal thing, and I literally heard my daughter say, Teddy, and I literally thought she was had opened her window and was messing with Teddy, because he wouldn't know where she is, right? But she never said a word, but I literally heard her say Teddy. And then I'm getting, say it soft and it's almost like praying. Right, and that came up in my Instagram today, so you have to read my Instagram for that message. So now we have the other read, my message of the day. And here's the picture of that one. So we have, for those of you not familiar with this read, all the underlying energies are on the left, and then I usually pull 3 cards, and then the rest of the cards that want to come out organically I use for numerology and for the rest of the message. And we have the Journey of Love, the Shaman deck, we have Nature's Whispers deck, and then the Mythic deck, which is the Greek mythology. All right, so this one was done, this was done actually that same day. And 4 o'clock, 4:01, 4:02, 4:03. So the energy of Source Energy and the Emperor, and then the Magician, the Empress, and the Empress. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All 4 of those energies coming up strongly today, as Advent started yesterday on the 3rd. And the second coming was coming up at this read as well. So the cards at the end of each pile came up as 1, 1, 1, 2 and 3, 3, 1, 2. The Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine usher in 11 to 12, or November to December, Sagittarius co-creating the King of Wands and group with the High Priestess and Higher Self, aligning with 12 and 12, or that Saggy Gate or Archer Gate energy of 12-12, ushering in the second coming of Christ, 12-12 Saggy Gate, and Advent, the 4th Sunday before Christmas Day, which started yesterday and ends on the 24th, so Sunday to Sunday. And Advent being broken down, and I did a small post on this little part, but it's part of this read, so I'm going to give it to you. So Advent is the AD, V, and then ENT, After Death 2023, creation of the giant humanoid talking tree, with 22 days on the Fool's Journey, the Christ Mass Tree, the Cry Path of co-creating Ass, or the Donkey, the Don Key Tree, which D is divine on key, and again there's that harmony energy, but the divine is 2 vine on key, 3 in accord, where the 2 vines in accordance with a partridge, which is par 3, divine energy, or spin, or watch without the T. The father's root are id energy, I doggy, part ridge, P art, or par 3, divine energies, or 3 watch, but not from the cross. And there's this energy, right, too, of the 3 on the cross at the time of the crucifixion. So this energy of the cord and Christmas, right, the Christmas tree, in a partridge in a pear tree. So in a pear tree is actually the pair of 2, P-A-I-R, the family tree. The energy of 2 vines weaving through the tree on key, a chord, 3-part harmony, which har, one of the meanings for har is her, so her money coming up. The partridge is the part T-R-I, which is 3, but it's also tree. And then N-G-E came, or D-G-E came up, but the only word is D-G-E-T, which means watch. And then N-G-E was also coming up, which means time. So obviously we're talking about things like time. Harmony was also coming up as har, and then the M-O of N-Y, New York, but it's also the Christed energy of the journey at 0 point field. Har also means laughter, which is also coming up big time today. The hinge, the cardinal point, to move, sway, jump, hair, as hair on your head, even, including worm and caterpillar, or that inchworm energy, and again the lights around the tree, and the hair was coming up as the popcorn. Each and every man, hare, as in rabbit, army, whore, to hear their call of distress, her, she, they, to make torch, August, and August is gold rush, holy gray light, venerable, honorable grace, which came up today with the emperor, even 3 parts watch, in need of tea, right? Because on Christmas Eve, you need caffeine to stay up, right? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Christmas night. So Eve and night, with dad in between, because day is da, taking shifts. So on Christmas Eve, Eve and da are fair and light, but night with a K is feisty and carries a carving knife. He cuts down the tree and the meat, providing a house and food to eat. Eve is always even with her fare, and dad keeps lunch light to make sure there's room for dinner. So the tree represents the family awakening through the remembrances of the family decorations over the years. Vines as the lights and hairs as popcorn until you get to the top and you get your angel wings, where the snakes really light her up, as the top of the tree is just the tip of the iceberg in leveling up to your ancestry and destiny. And that was all at 444, which is the angelic realms, and then 446, which is the emperor and the 6 of cups of the innocent, vulnerable little ones, and Santa Claus, perhaps. So Advent, remember 2, is the second coming, but number 2 is all about the divine feminine, not the masculine. The divine feminine and the higher self, and the Q of the queen. The underlying energy of 35, intimacy, the 9 of dances on 1 foot, and 19 to shift your energy, 36 of, I don't know how it's pronounced, Hecate or Hecate, H-E-C-A-T-E, but that's crossroads. This weekend, it was weird. We had a lot of, like, the next door neighbor cat keeps camping out at our gate. And then a dog was in our backyard with no leash. And when I saw him, he just walked out without a problem. Like, he had no collar, no nothing. He looked well groomed, so somebody was on the loose. But they're all coming to my backyard. So the gray cat is the one whose little white baby got stuck in my yard a couple weeks ago, which I told you about. But now they're no longer scared because I've been, like, introducing the cat over and over again to Teddy, who's much bigger than them, so they wouldn't hiss at him anymore. And the cat didn't hiss at him at all. I came out with Teddy on the deck, and the cat was being very peaceful with us, so making peace. The wounded warrior surrenders to dance on one foot in a balancing act. The green moth, new with neighbors perhaps, or just dipping their toe in first, a delicate balance at 5:55, with sunshine and shifting your energy, the wounded warrior, the hermit, and the sun, with Eve, Dad, and Christmas night, the father's son, and she with lots of holes, making her appear etheric or ghostly pale. As the 36 of the Ten of Wands Atlas with the weight of the world, with Maiden, Mother, and Crone at the crossroads of the Y, or 0 point field, and Mother May I, Trinity, which is 3, show of power and gratitude, of saying thank you, may have another, especially when trying your patience. So Hecate, or He-gate, without top dog, or Gamma 7, boomerang. The key is in the spin, or Sophia's pin. And remember, my pin example is about the head of the pin, and the solid back is the masculine housing, and the 2 rings at the bottom, each one represents the feminine and masculine, and then the pointy part is the feminine that collects the energy from the sun and then creates that vacuum in the pin, and then when the energy flows through her into the masculine and then it gets used up, the pin then falls open again to collect more sun again. And then that's going to be me one day, came up, that quote. Oh, and in the movie Greater, when he decided that's what he was going to do, he was watching number 72 and 86 on the Razorbacks. And that was at 8:14. And 8's all about sports. And then 14 has to do with patience and being an angel. You know, right? The one of the higher love. And Razorbacks being red and white came up for whatever reason, and that's Arkansas. The intimacy of balancing within and then shifting the sun at the crossroads of everyone, the crowd. The 26 of the Guardian of the Soul family at 6:07, which is the Lovers and the Chariot. And in the movie, right, the car was very significant. The 62 of the Choice, the 6 of the Angel of Jupiter Awaken, the 25 of the Seed of the Heart, and the 35 of Intimacy here. Newton's Cradle reflecting a choice as the lover awakens, as the Knight of Wands to seed the heart in surrender, as lovers align through Newton's Cradle, resonating with the question to inspire surrendering to intimacy. At 6:20, and I'm getting that energy, brothers in sports, yeah, come on, you got to do it. And in the movie, right, he's a chubby kid, and his much older brother's really hard on him about that. And he's doing it out of love, but he does it in a very harsh way, he's not always very nice about it. But his younger brother doesn't care. He knows what he wants and who he's going to be. But there is this energy of that strong sports-like male energy having all the power, when really it's the vulnerable, sweet child in this example who's showing you they actually are the ones who have all the power here. The 54 of the Page of Swords, Earth Angel, God's messenger, and the Knight of Pentacles, the Swan, right? So the older brother really is a loving, strong person, right? He's a really good person. But he comes off as the stereotypical masculine that's distorted, right? And what a boy is supposed to be. The surrender in the 42 of the blood dance of 1-to-1 in the inspiration of the heart. The 40 and the 29 and the 3, the Page of Cups and the void. And gifted the spiral dance of the goddess, present to the Empress, burning her burning into fire from the coolness of the embers of silence. And there's that energy again of the embers almost burned out, but then coming back into fire. The cool embers of silence, right? When the flame finally blows out, it's not coming back again. At 6:20. Something's bubbling to come up. I wasn't catching it though. And 620 is the prison. 62 is the prison, the imprisonment. But 26 was also coming up with that, which is the page of wands, that fiery energy of Newton's cradle, of taking the initiative, right, to take that swing in order to resonate through. And I'm getting the energy of, in football, you know, hitting the line and trying to get through to the other side, but not needing to if you pass, right? So it's that energy of the energy going through the balls onto the other side, like the football goes over, right? So the person may lock bodies into the line that's blocking them, but they can also extend themselves through the football to the other side with still getting their message across. It's really interesting what's coming through. The underlying energy, and then greater is coming up again, of the great ER, right? ER is that urgency of greatness. And I'm getting the 66, 77, and 88, the greatness. And again, the energy of the gur, of the tiger, right? The 46 has to do with, right, what are you inspired to do, right? Because that takes you through. The 6 of Cups, 46, and the root girl, the disowned self. The 8 of then crown games, kind of the antithesis of what they're not, right? The root girl disembodied by the crown games, right, of the man, so to speak. And the 8 of strength and power, having all the power over the innocent ones, and this right use of power needed. The 55 of the farther gate, and that bold step forward with the truth. The 9 of dances on one foot, and dances with wolves coming up as well as that balancing act. The sweet little girl with stunted heart, due to power games of the strong, and knocking their block off. The truth of 2 sons, and a bold step forward through double gates. Thanksgiving through 1212, as I said, it was opened already before 1212. In the airlock of the source sun and the rays of the sun, right? One is the source and one is the rays of the Father and Son. The dance of Excalibur, and whose truth you're listening to. It's good to be green because you don't have to believe in others' stories and know your own. Dipping your toe where no man's gone before. Or in other words, your way. The dance of the innocents and right use of power, treading lightly in the sound of thunder and chording keys of memories. At 643, which is the lovers and the 3 of cups coming together in joy. The 10 of the deep diver, diving into a task. Destined perfect storm here with the 44 of Hercules, her harvest. The courage to step into life, her way. 9 and 10 of Virgo and Libra in the middle. Ravenous peacock in the eagle's nest. Where 31 is in the hand, the universe is your partner. In the heart, chaos is moldable. 3, 15, and 30 with the Empress, Devil, and the 4 of Wands. And we're going to repeat that again. In the heart, chaos is moldable. And then 315 to 330 was coming up, with 31 already coming up. So, and that's all of the energy of the Ides of March coming up into April 1st, which is the Fool's Journey, right? April Fool's Day. The benefactors of grace and generosity, and the dust devil moving out of stagnation in the union of the horsemen and the heralding of change. Giddy up. 315 through the end of March in the Ides of March to the Fool's Journey, April 1st, and then 4-4 of Ramsgate. 9-10 begin again with 31 heart in hand, and they're off, homebound. With number 6 and now 743, from the lovers and the 3 of cups to the chariot and the 3 of cups, which is the ascension of the lovers, is the big picture. 45 of empowerment, 8 of the breakthrough, 19 of shifting your energy, of healing the root to flower the crown, staying focused on the big picture, purging to empower in the dance of the butterflies, breaking through the rough seas, right, like the diamond in the rough, with an open heart, refusing to give up as greater. 8, 45, 8, and 19, from the ground, getting over it, and right back up again, to leap into the sun, to fly. In a shift of energy, now energies are in your favor because you didn't give up. You just had to wait for the right timing. In the fourth quarter, and Spirit's connecting with me crazy on that. In the fourth quarter, which this last game was 28-24. They didn't win, even though they should have. But he still made All-American. It just wasn't his time yet. But it wasn't the point either, right? So if you watch the movie, you'll see that it really wasn't about him becoming a big football star. It was about his journey to that and how he was such an angel to all of those around him, lifting others up, allowing others to see what it is to be in your integrity, to be who you are, as sweet and vulnerable as you are, and not caving in to other people's ways, right? Always believing, right, with the support of his mom, was always very supportive in you're you for a reason, right? And they were a very faithful family. The mother never gave up on him. So the Ace of Wands here, and maintaining your childlike spirit. Right? In the face of even a child's death, right? Because nobody in the movie could understand what was the point of his death. And 27 and 29, and it was so weird because right as this happened, it always makes me think of my son and his cousin, who's 2 days apart from him. They were born in the same hospital. And they both have that innocence about them as men. And I was tuning into that feeling of my son and my nephew in regards to him at Brandon's death. And then the cards, the two next cards in the read were 27 and 29, which are the dates of my son's and his cousin's birth, or my nephew and my son's birth. So it was kind of crazy the way that came up. But the Ace of Wands is calling you to maintain your childlike spirit, and the 29 of contemplation, of needing to deeply go within, right? To find your strength within, right? When you're being affected by those around you. And the 5 of freedom. And in the movie at the end, they put in flowers, "We trust on the field." So it was all about that energy of faith that he had, the strong faith that he had in himself, right? In God's mission for him. And on his tombstone was, "Our loss is great, but God is greater." 9/20/76 to 4/28/99. So the torch and August, so 8/15 was coming up there, which is August was coming up again, the gold rush, the gust of gold, right? The torch that blew through their life. And I'm getting that too with Marilyn Monroe, right? And the song by Elton John. The ones who die young are the ones blowing through our lives to get us to see ourselves. The holy gray light, the venerable, the honorable grace. And 8/27 is that 27 again of the childlike passion, the Queen's Gambit, presently contemplating, butterfly with lion's heart. To make a magic wish and blow with a fresh approach of wholeness and being thankful for your blessings. As the underlying energy of 27 again came up in another deck of Aphrodite and love, and the 10 of Themis, the natural order of things, and then Hecate, or however it's pronounced, and 36 of the crossroads, which is Atlas and the way to the world. A new passion for natural order at multi-generational crossroads, destined legacy of Atlas and women's work. With the 19 and Artemis of purity, the sun and the archer, and again that's Leo and Sagittarius, right? The 2 gates, and aimed at Atlas, number 5 with Cronus and cycles and the Hierophant. With Leo, Sagittarius, and Taurus here, and Cancer with 18, Poseidon with 19, 5, and 18. So the sun and the moon with the 5 in the middle, which is that, and I'm getting Lady Liberty, right, of freedom, change, and expansion there between the sun and the moon, the freedom of our planet, the sun, the moon, the granddaughter, and the grandfather with father between, each with an implement, an arrow, a scythe, and trident, the mover and shakers, the daughter on the side of the, and the daughter was coming up here in the read as on the side of the men in the family. The 34 and the 45 of Pandora's hope and Bellerophon's humility. He had to get knocked down a lot to find his humility. And she, right, to experience Pandora's box, to discover her hope, her unending hope. With 34 and 45, the energetic exchange of getting over oneself, and the arrows of love or stitches and getting over ourself. The twin stay, and again, being able to laugh at yourself, right? And those, so when his brother would tease him about his weight, he always just smiled and was like, well, I'm who I am. I'm supposed to be this way. He didn't let it get him down. He just stayed himself. So learning to laugh at yourself is so important, as the twins are staying away from witches perhaps, or sending love their way by fixing their botches to feel safe again. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So plastic surgery is coming up as a way that the masculine found to make up to the feminine, to make them feel safe again. And obviously that's a distorted way, because people don't need plastic surgery, but it makes them feel good. It makes them, there's lots of different reasons for plastic surgery. I'm not even going to go there to my perspective, because it has no significance here. But it's coming through as a way the masculines thought that they could, make the feminine feel better about themselves again, to feel safe in their arms again, right? To feel safe. The most vulnerable place you can be in is under the knife, under somebody else's knife, putting your life in their hands. Or maybe that's a way of getting you to put your life in their hands again, as opposed to being sovereign and owning your own knowing. Very interesting, that's the way that was coming up. Okay, so let's pull one last card from, and we'll do this one again, Messages of Love Oracle cards. The hand holding, reaching through the heart to hold another's hand. Remember, in the heart, chaos is moldable. You can work with it as long as you're in the heart. Obsession. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts and denial, detached with love to clearly see the truth. Again, come back to your heart. This is literally what I just said. You can deal with obsession as long as you're in your heart. So someone's connected with gripped by obsessive thoughts. Can't even get it out of my mouth. But when you detach and go back into your heart, you can then organize those thoughts into something moldable. Someone is undergoing a spiritual transformation with new love. A new love or recommitment to love is developing here. And a second chance. And that came up in our other read as well. This relationship deserves a second chance. And the bottom of the deck is rejection. This rejection is actually divine protection. So whatever has been already, because this is the passing of this, don't dismiss the red flags. So the rejection that you received or that you performed was divine protection. Perhaps from someone who wasn't ready, or people in their environment who may have been toxic to you, right? Or perhaps because you weren't ready, right? The rejection is protection because you're not ready to deal with that energy yet. So whichever way it goes, it was protecting you for the right timing, right? Until someone gets rid of all their obsessive thoughts to regularly come back into their heart and be very practiced in that, right? So they won't get knocked over or too much out of their balance. As someone is going through this transformation of awakening to new love, self-love, recommitment to love is developing as a second chance then comes in, okay? So don't worry about the rejection. Just like in the movie Greater, every time he was rejected, he didn't take that for an answer. He tempted the coach, then tell me what to do. And then the coach would tell him, you know, thinking he's never going to do this, but yeah, if you want to do this, you can do this. And so he did. He kept doing what they said, and then just naturally favors would come his way because he never gave up. Okay, guys. So if you haven't watched those movies, yeah, you got to watch Greater. And you got to watch Lucy. Two of them that were really good this week. And remember to stay hydrated, drink your water, get your rest. It's important for you to feel good. Get your joy in your nature, right? If you can't get your feet out in the grass or hug a tree, a salt bath, some meditation, whatever works for you, you know, hiking in the woods. But remember, when you're hiking, your feet aren't touching the ground because you have shoes on. So remember to touch the leaves and the flowers, even the plants in your own house, to ground you. And as always, rise and be loved, you guys. I will see you next time.